Hello and welcome to Dominion 6 Rise of the Podcaster, your premier Dominion 6 podcast. I am HP Munchcraft, joined by fellow co-hosts Nicknight, Rovsea, and Soron, and we are going to be continuing our little session on our hot takes and observations about the game. Hope you enjoy.
The Winter should stop hard coding as much stuff so the community can kind of like fix these problems and they don't have to put so much manpower into every individual change. I'm actually really not a big fan of what Illwinter did with the change from Dom 5 to Dom 6, where they are individually going through every Foreignrec recruit in the game, and they are now deciding if they're going to have some weird, like, oh, can you make this in the province type from the previous games, or am I now changing it to only be that province type without a fort? Like, I think that's a terrible change that
That's just spaghetti code, bro. But it is kind of funny. You build a fort and you lose recruitment options sometimes, and it's like, wait a minute.
That is weird.
Like,
I think that's a really terrible change Illwinter is deciding to push through.
Okay, hold on. The Logrian Wise Man was like that, right? You can't make those in forts?
No.
Yeah, but
purely out of fort?
Only. Yeah.
They were only out of fort, but they were anywhere recruit.
I think the only issue is on nations where you're out
you're
of
any province.
You're out
no,
of
the thing
fort,
is, it's bugged, right?
Oh, that's true.
It was a bug that happened in between 5 and 6, where on 6, if it's a terrain-specific foreign recruit, it couldn't be recruited in the fort.
But what I'm trying to say is Illwinter has taken the stance, and it's not a bug because they've now taken the stance of going through individually all these Foreignrec and changing them across the board. All of them.
Yeah, but they missed a bunch of them.
No, they didn't miss it. No, they didn't just miss it. They're individually going through every Foreignrec because I've reported some of these, right, as a bug, and Illwinter, instead of patching it, now is leaving it as a feature. Like Bulgarus, by the way, or not Bulgarus, Vanarus randomly nerfed for...
They haven't fixed it yet, at least.
Yeah. So if you go in Dom 5, it's any forest recruit.
Any forest.
Yeah. But now in Dom 6, it's a non-fort forest for no reason. It's like, okay, this unit or mage was never a problem. Was never like causing, and now we're like changing it. Like all
never
of these
a problem?
for no reason.
Ask Johnny about that. No.
No, but it was a good mage. Like
right.
It's just like a solid, fun part of the nation, and it's like, why are we putting in bad, quote unquote, features arbitrarily? Like,
I was about to say is I only think it's a problem in cases like Vanarus where if you make a fort, you lose function because you're like the Logrian Wise Man with Man. Generally, you would rather have Man's normal mage lineup than the Logrian Wise Man, even though he's like an asset, right? But then with Vanarus, it's like you build your fort and then you get your fucking kind of crappy Vanarusian Sage. He's got uses, but he's not like great. And then you lose your nature access of these mages that are better. Like,
I just think it's a bad change because in Man case, like, it's any province. It's not a big deal, right? You choose the provinces you build the fort. Now, you only have so many of a particular type, right? So why are we going to, like, hurt? If you have 3 forests, right? And now we're just going to make it so, like, oh, you have to wait 2 turns now for every mage. But with, like, Man, it's any province. So you pick, literally, where you want it. You don't necessarily pick your forest. You have a select amount of all these types. So I just think it's bad design because it's like it makes sense for Man, but now we're going back and we're just like making it like a shitty thing for a nation to have. And it's like these nations, one, aren't powerhouses of the era. So it's like
you have like 3 versions. You have 4 versions of foreign recruit. You have recruit anywhere. You have recruit in terrain that applies everywhere. Then you have recruit in terrain that's only non-forted, and then you also have recruit in terrain only if it's forted.
Yeah, it's like, do you have any that's recruit terrain only forted?
Absolutely.
Besides End?
Look at Ariu. Furbolg Druids can be recruited in the capital as well as Highland and Mountain forts.
Oh, and Camel Thoughts. That's true.
Yeah, so I'm not sure you need all these like exceptional rules when you could have just gone with the 5 system. So I think you do have a little bit of a point there.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like Elenter had some of these concepts solved. Like they were solid concepts for Dominions, I would argue. And now we're going back and we're kind of like messing around with it. And I think the problem with the previous games or what they had is they were starting to ruin concepts that were, maybe they were a little strong here and there, but then instead of kind of like toning them down, taking the sledgehammer and just like bricking them, and it's less unnecessary. It's like
I
leave the
don't
feature in your game, just
because it's
tune it
like
a
it
little bit.
started as a bug though, right? Like they had to, and then they decided to change it after they had to go in and bug fix
Yeah,
it
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, and this is something that the modding community could easily fix. And Illwinter is now spending their manpower having to fix this bug across the board, and it's just like, I'm just not a fan. I would
well,
prefer Illwinter
it
give
could
more
it could have
tools.
something to do with like the spaghetti code. So like, I don't know if it's just like that way because there's something like deeply broken in the code somewhere and it's not just like a switch you can toggle. Because this game
Yeah,
is like duct taped together over like years and it's kind of starting to show. Um,
yeah.
Well, they
I mean,
finally added a tag for land and water forts, though.
I want to bring this up that with every iteration, and a lot of people in the beta have noted this too. Like they're hard coding more and more stuff, and I would prefer if especially if they're gonna make big balance changes, don't make these changes that are balance hard coded. So, for example, like I'm a player who I think is like the changing of bark skin, stone skin, and iron skin
oh
was
yeah,
too heavy handed, and I would like to be able to go into if I want to play a game and throw in a balance mod, let me just change the values a little to like maybe a little more middle. But with Ilmater's current design of Dominion 6, now from 5 into 6, you cannot modify any of the values of bark skin or iron skin or stone skin. They are hard coded as those values,
well, were
and
they
you would
hard
have
coded in 5?
they
Like, I
were,
think it was
but
the
but they
case where
were
they were hard
but,
coded in 5, but people liked them. And so
yeah,
now
yeah.
it's just a problem where they're hard coded and now they're nerfed into the
But
dirt.
my point is like so you had Dominions 1 through 4 or 1 through 5, and these effects weren't really changed. Maybe they were changed in the early ones, but I think from 3 to 5, like the skins were the same effect, right?
Yeah.
So you have maybe
Well, in the
some
early one,
players.
in 1, because I've played Dom 1, it was the same effect and just had no weaknesses. There was no fire vulnerability. It was just
Yeah, but it
plus
stayed
10
as
prot.
10,
Fuck
right?
you. Yeah. Uh,
So now Illwinter has changed the value, and no one can interact with I think it was established through the games that no one was probably like, oh, this is like too strong of an effect. But now we've touched it because we want to like move around the protection values, and so it's like you can't modify that. You have to do some jank. I was talking to Logi about it to change the values. You would have to like create new spells and like do weird stuff by using invulnerability because of how the bonding works.
mm,
Essentially, how bonding works. Maybe this is a
Field,
TDL.
it
field
One
note.
didn't
started
read
as
it,
one.
but but you have to use the effects that exist in the game to modify or create something else. And because the effect for like protection or plus protection doesn't exist, and it only
Right.
exists through the spells, you have to use that effect if you want to make a spell. So you can't actually like have make a new spell where it's like select AoE 1 plus 10 natural protection. You can't do that. You can't modify the value of the spell like, oh, add +3 because it's tied to the effect. It's really dumb because it's hard coded. I really
Yeah.
wish Elintra wouldn't do that because it's one of the problems with balance because it's like, oh, this is a problematic spell, but certain communities are going to agree and disagree with how strong it is. So let them decide what they think is broken and go from there. Instead of just okay, I'm going to change this and fuck one of you and thumbs up to the other. It's just not a good change.
Rob, do you have any interesting observations while playing, or any hot takes you'd like to drop on people?
Oh, you want me to list any hot takes I might have?
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
for it.
Let's see. Man, I really didn't have anything prepared.
Yeah,
Buff Oceania, why don't they have heroes? Incomplete nation. There's one.
true.
Patala still no heroes? Question mark. Surely there's no Hindu lore the Nagas that we could draw upon. Probably not. I don't think that would exist.
Agreed.
Dog Republic, good change. Thank you for putting dogs in the game. Ind is a cave nation now.
We have to say that this republic is dog. We can't rate them pug.
But it's dog in a pog way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, doesn't In just like fisticuffs with whoever spawns in the caves? Like,
What?
Yeah, they just go underground and then they steal all the caves and they're like, wow, now I'm a Sino nation. And that's about it.
yeah,
Like the caves will be ours. I don't know. I disagree with Fascia not having fire access. Bad change. M8 Atlantis, kind of boring. Should change them. Give them something fun. Do they even have a national spell? Let's go check.
How many
They do have
nations
one.
don't have
Summon
the next-
monster fish? Yeah, actually, it's interesting you ask that because early age Pelagia also has 0. So maybe you
yeah,
should
there's a
give them
bunch of
something.
nations.
There's like
No
3,
spells.
but there are some.
No,
and
there's more than
and
3. I think.
let's be honest though, Winter. When was the last time you looked at the underwater pretenders? Yeah, there's about 10. So like maybe add some more.
Yeah, but they have the perfect pretender, the floating mine. So.
Do
Yeah,
they? I'm
don't
looking at
worry.
early
Oh
age
wait, no, they
Atlantis
gave him
now. What do
sloth.
they even have?
No.
Don't
They
worry.
did, yeah. Why are all of these freaking monsters that nobody would ever take having negative scales that would make them less likely to be taken?
Oh well, I can tell you why that is. They just slapped bunches of fucking sloth on the good expanders, so that like
Yeah,
if you
so that
choose
nobody
good
would take
expansion,
them.
you're not
Like,
making fucking troops early. Like get got. Like that's
such a bad design.
it's like a
Okay.
fucking-
I have a problem with that one. Here's my secondary problem. A lot of the Trinities got price increases, and some of the other Titan pretenders also got price increases. And these price increases, like, take the gray ones, they also had one, and they're proportionally about the same amount. But proportional changes are not always balanced when the pool of resources to draw from that these proportional changes are taking place in are the same. So, like, fix that, please.
Wait, Rob.
Like the
Nerid-
Morrigan,
the
like-
Nerid now
Like the
spawns
Maligna
swarms
is
of
the
fish.
Marigna's price goes up by like 60, right? And the gray one's price goes up by 20. That's not a balanced change, even though they're both trendies and it's a proportional price increase because the pool of available design points is the same. So the amount of wiggle room you have to make a Marigna build gets lower and lower, and the gray one basically doesn't care.
Yeah,
So-
you never had any wiggle room with a Marigna build, and they're probably
Yeah, that's
stone
true.
dead
Maybe you should
now.
change that,
Like-
Winter. Maybe Titans should all have like 50 to 100 points taken off across the board. Maybe people would play
There
them.
totally wasn't a mod in Dominions 5 that made Titans not useless.
Okay,
Shout
so
out
the
to Red
other,
Bar.
the other issue I have
and,
with Titans, and this is something that Ilter might have foreseen, some of them have positive scales and some of them have negative scales, and nobody is playing the ones with negative scales or neutral scales.
Well,
It's untrue.
It also cannot be ignored. Titans ate a enormous nerf with the Twilight changes.
Oh yeah,
that's
because
true.
now they're
Yeah,
Boris' SCs.
I really don't like that change. It's like I'm gonna invest all of my early game research points and to some extent magic and gems and armor and whatnot. So put something that can
no,
maybe.
you're not with the construction changes. You're not.
Yeah, in order
But
for
like
a
it's
Titan-
harder. It's even harder now. And then it's like you put them in a fight, and it's like you can't like
Yeah.
it's I don't
You
know.
have
It's just
to
so
be able
broad. And
Yeah,
the
you
enemy
can't
can have I don't know
on.
two glamour majors on summon ghost wolves over and
Yeah,
over,
so-
and you lose.
so-
And it's just
My
Unbelievable.
issue with the Twilight changes, and I think I've said it before to y'all, but I would be fine with the Twilight changes because I don't think SC turn timers was a particularly engaging game mechanic. However, they haven't. They've traded that out for now skeleton turn timers because which you could do in 5, but your summoned battlefield summons don't go away with Twilight the way that your buffs
buff
do.
spells do.
So
Yeah,
your
it's-
stupid ass skeletons and trees that you've been piling up will stay on the battlefield. So you haven't gotten rid of this turn timering mechanic. You've just made it so
Change
that
who
it's
can do it.
a function of infinite summons, and because like Howl goes away and lifelong protections eventually run out, like clearly Illwinter had made the design decision to cut down the turn timer plays, which I think is fine. They were not a super engaging part of the game. But
Well, I don't know. I think it really
you
hurts.
could still turn timer by being like a Dom 4 player who just throws hordes of skeletons at people repeatedly, like until they can't kill. There's too many skeletons on the board to kill. So like,
Yeah, and
yeah.
what was the counter to those builds? It was the stupid turn timer
right,
SC.
exactly. And now
You remove the SC part, but you
you
left.
just have to use a
The
battlefield
only
wipe,
other
which is now
the
further
only
up the tree.
other counter was mass flight or whatever. Pretty much. It was a major,
battle-
Well, it's not
wipes
the
and
only
counters.
counter.
it's not the only, but it was one of the major
Like
ones.
if you did like Firestorm would clear out any skeletons, it wouldn't clear out imps, but that problem's dealt with. So
Yeah. Another issue I have with the Pretender changes. Why do we? Okay, first off, that's weird.
Oh, here we go, Rovsea. Let's hear it.
Yeah, what's up with the inept Smith inept researcher across the board? Like,
Zonk
you
did
want me to
that.
make?
That's the Zonk one.
Not only do you not want me to pick a freaking Pretender and put production scales on them or whatever, now you also don't get to forge anything with them. Like, come on,
and you don't get
Oh,
to
they
fear
listen,
research.
Rob. They don't have hands, so clearly they.
Yeah,
you know,
he's only been alive for 2,000 years. I'm sure he hasn't figured out a way around that problem.
Yeah, listen. I
The
don't agree
statue
with
can
the
possess
thing.
a person to get him to forge shit for him, but the snake.
Yeah,
no way.
but the
Or
but the
snake?
giant
No, fuck
sphinx
you.
that's like size 10. He's been alive for 2,000 years. Never
Master
figured out his way around that problem.
Yeah, get fucked. But I was about to
Listen.
say, when you say they didn't look at the underwater pretenders, that is clearly wrong. Because if you click on the Nereid, she now summons a bunch of fucking fish at the beginning of the fight. So clearly they did look at the sea pretenders in at least some capacity.
Listen,
Oh wait, I'm willing to bet that the gift of water breathings have all been scaled up for whatever
They
that
have,
matters.
they have all been scaled
Oh
up. That
my
is
God.
true. Where's the narrator?
I don't think it fixes the problem in any capacity.
No,
Yeah.
No, I think she already had that. She already had that, I think. HP.
Oh,
Nereid.
did she? I thought
so.
she didn't, but maybe it got
I'll go
changed 4 to
check.
5, and I'm just too addicted.
Well, you see, nobody's ever played the Nereid in a multiplayer
Yeah, it wouldn't
game,
surprise
so
me.
why would they know, right?
Yeah, how would you...
Listen, the gift of water breathing.
Yep, she always had
free.
that. 1d6 sea stags, 3d6 large fishes.
I think the gift of water breathing was increased across the board, but that doesn't fix the giant error that is underwater. I think
Tell us how you
listen.
really feel about
So
the water.
Listen, they added some cool stuff to water that I feel like should be on land. There's gooey water underwater only. This is a 6 spell.
I'm sorry, did you say that gooey water was a 6 spell?
Yeah, it's- yeah. Have you looked at it?
Up that water.
I have looked at it, and I saw the name,
Sick.
and I was like, that's a silly spell. It's not a good spell.
No,
It's just silly.
yeah, applying slime to enemy units, that's trash, Rob. You're right.
No, the slime effect is
around.
fine, but calling the spell gooey water is not fine.
Listen, it's a goofy name. They should have just called it Goof. Goofy.
You don't like it when
Gooey water.
when your
I'm sorry,
mages
wait,
make
hold
gooey
on a
water at
second.
people?
We can't have, like, spores underwater, but we can...
You don't want them to
the
shoot gooey
logic
water
behind
at
this?
people?
They're turning the water into slime. Wouldn't it just wash off from other water? Like,
No. The undersea creatures can make slime and water. It's,
Oh,
very
did you guys see the change they did to F5, by the way? Random for people who don't know. They added, you can see the divine tree.
Oh,
Good
Pog?
change.
oh yeah, true.
That's
true.
hype.
Yeah, that was in
divine
one of the recent patches.
channeling, still only works on level 1. Okay, same stuff there.
It's the same spells, but the fact that you
Wait,
can see it from
Can
F5
you see
is cool.
the Joman spells? That's the
Probably.
real question. And the divine.
Listen.
tree. You can. Good change. Thank you, Winter.
Name an episode where you can go without talking about Joan.
Are there other divine national spells.
Yes, there is
Yeah.
one very toxic divine
Oh,
national
I
spell.
remember, of course.
Oh,
I
yeah, who
forget.
steals sacreds and is a Roman? Oh, yes, it was me, Scleria. Hey, Scleria players in the chat. Oh, thanks for the sacred.
Apostasy. What
I do love. I was fighting a dude as Lemuria. He brought a single commander who was sacred, leading a whole bunch of non-sacred units.
What would happen if
Oh
you took
god,
away
that's
his...
fucking grief, Nick at night. Has
let me
anyone
get-
checked and seen if Scleria is less broken yet? Because depending on their spawn rates, they might be.
Scleria is definitely less broken because forts take longer to construct now. Cultists
Yeah.
still generate the same amount of undead, despite everybody else getting more troops. Basically, everybody else's army size is 30% bigger, but Scleria still has the same army size.
Why is that a 50 range spell with no fatigue cost?
On the other hand, you know what's back for Scleria?
What?
They can rush people with shadow vestals again because magic weapons aren't that common anymore.
Rovsea, it's not
fuck! Fucking
It's
shadow
not-
No fatigue.
It's not no fatigue, it's the caster's fatigue. The caster.
Oh, true. My bad. My mistake.
What
yeah,
it just
it's
appeared as a
fine.
no
What is
fatigue.
Rovsea getting mad about?
So if you look up apostasy, it's zero
Apostasy.
fatigue.
Oh,
But it's really
that's fucking
spellcasting.
ridiculous. Like, why did they? Oh, Jesus Christ!
That has existed.
Why is it?
for...
Yeah, exactly. Why is it zero fatigue? Like nobody knows. Nobody can
Oh,
tell.
one of the
Well,
most
it's zero
broken
fatigue
spells.
because that's the normal for holy spells. But it's a fucking,
Yeah, but like
it's a
if I go
fucking-
and look at so
Charm.
Joman gets a
Fucking
charm
charm.
spell too, right? But like it's range 5, and I'm
yeah,
pretty
because
sure
it's
got
fire,
a
so it
fatigue
has to
cost.
suck.
Yeah, I can correct Rovsea.
Versus
just-
the range 50. Like, come on.
How long? It took us till Dominion 6 to yell at Illwinter to remove the -1 HP from Joman. You know, there's still some aftermarks of elimination.
Why is the charm spell range 5? Like everybody should have the spell. They just walk up and they start trying to convince the other person from close range, right?
This is your
Every nation
premier,
should have it. Persuasion on the
battlefield.
podcast.
It should just be like a generic glamour spell. You just walk up and start talking
Alright,
with the other
so
person.
I want to draw.
Is
attention
charm
to
a glamour
something.
spell now? Did they do us like that? They did, didn't they?
Of course they did you like that, you ding dong.
Such a okay.
I haven't checked. I can tell. I'm psychic like that.
Yeah, I know. They nerfed
Fucking-
nature
No,
again.
Charmed animal is still there for nature, but I don't see charm.
It's
which
good.
means-
It'll work
it's-
on most
you
Dominions
wouldn't see it
players.
because it's glamour now. Just like
Right.
Sleep Cloud, even though Sleep Cloud was spores or something in the original, which is why you couldn't cast it under one.
So I do want to draw, like, I have been playing a game as Nidvanger, right? And obviously Soul Scars are a completely fair and balanced and not at all abusable mechanic.
Agreed.
But
I don't think that they're broken. Listen, you gotta get them nerfed for no reason.
but I do want to draw attention to the fact that the Nid here has 100% on his Soul Scar, whereas like the troops have 50%, so they're realistically going up to 3 or 4, and then like you only get 5 if you're Dom 10. But on the like Nid here, the commander version, granted he's 170 gold, he's costs the same as 17 troops, but you could give this guy like 10 extra Marios. Like, you can.
Yeah, I'm
you
pretty
can-
sure Zan pointed this out in
Does
his
it keep
little
going
video.
up with Dominion strength?
Yeah,
Yes.
In the late game, is it like 20 lives? Like
I have no idea. I'd have to test. It might be a max of 10, but it just says Dominion strength in the province, which I thought was a max of 10.
that caps at 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Dominion strength in the province, which is your capital, which does.
Yeah,
count
but
as 10.
what happens if you send this guy to the arena?
I don't. Fun time.
Yeah, someone killing this guy 10 times. Yes.
You just be HP Munchcraft and forget there's an arena fight and don't be there with your fucking broken ass Nid here.
You know what's funny is that
You
it
know-
doesn't save him if he was drowned. It's like, I mean, beheaded, easy. Landed in a puddle when he was drunk, rip.
Drown, petrified, or disintegrate. Right, yeah, because it's extra souls. So if you get soul slayed, you only lose 1, but if you get disintegrated, you're just not there anymore. It doesn't matter how
Yeah,
many
or
souls
if you
have.
get your head cut off. Oh wait, he lives that.
That's fucking pog.
Listen, he's the headless
But if he
horseman.
drowns, some minor lung damage. Rip and tip.
Oh, listen, if he drowns, he's still underwater, so he'll just keep drowning. Lamau.
Yeah, what if it's like a puddle because he was drunk or something?
You think you should?
just
You think
keeps drowning.
that? Wait. You think that one spell has the water spell? What is it? Sailor's Death, Wrexham, or whatever.
No, because that's
No, because they would have had to think of Sailor's Death, and nobody's thought of that spell outside of
I think that has a certain effect. Getting an MRN or something.
It's armor negating, magic resistance negates damage.
Yeah, and this guy's
Yeah.
got MR of 14. So like, good luck with it.
It's only a -2. It's 14 armor negating damage.
I just wanted to bring him up because an army thug with 10
But
Marios...
more to the point, you would never target him because it's got precision 1, so
Like, if
therefore
you
you
give
would
him-
miss.
Like, you give this
Wait.
guy a fucking GSS, and
Yes, Sailor's Death has a precision of 1.
and he
so.
has 10 Marios, and he just runs in. He could just beat people all day.
Wait,
True.
this spell is new, right?
Which
What?
one?
Which one?
Thaumaturgy 6, Water 5. What is this?
What?
Dessert? That looks.
Phlegmatia? That does seem new.
That is.
Is it?
new. Yeah, it is. I don't
That
think I
seems
know.
like a spin-off of,
Oh, Phlegmatia? Yeah, that's new.
that's new.
Yeah.
See, they had Melancholia, now they have all the other
Yeah.
4 humors, right?
Yes. Dessert HP. Your
I
cup
thought there
warriors.
was like a
volley.
really stupid, really strong one somewhere.
Oh wait, it does the exact same thing as Melancholia. Why would you put
Yeah,
them
it
in-
does. Is there a fire one? Calaria.
Yeah, but the fire one's like actually...
No, that's
good.
trash.
Oh wait, no, it's 20.
Because it's a fire spell, of course. What am I thinking?
Ah, yes. You see, Rovsea? You
Wait.
got your-
Look at the air one.
No.
No. No.
Yeah, all it does is reduce unrest.
It's
kick guts.
unrest 1d6 minus 1d6 per month.
It's
And it
worse.
costs
It's worse than
costs
just summoning
20
fucking hawks.
it costs 20 air gems, and you have to put more in to get it to last longer.
Yeah, you see, Rav, right?
That's
You have
you could
you have
spend
to make
30
the
air
cycle.
gems to reduce at max like 60 unrest.
You have to complete the cycle, so they all have to be 20 gems, just like Melancholia.
That's such
listen,
a bad.
it's not-
That's such a. You
Pretty
could price
broken.
it at like 2 gems and have it be permanent, and people still would forget to cast it.
Yeah?
If
Yeah,
it was
something
priced at 2
interesting.
gems, people would actually cast it. But
Yeah, then they would actually. It would be a reasonably priced spell.
yeah, I don't know why they did that. There's like
20?
no other. There's no
And
other
it's not permanent.
effect of it.
That's
Wait, the fire one's not that bad. It increases your
fire one.
production.
I mean, like at least the fire one does something else.
It increases your production by 2.
Yeah, like that's maybe sometimes that's good.
I don't
Okay.
think that's well. Okay, let's. The thing is, it's
Listen,
cost
high
20
production
and then-
increases unrest, but this spell also reduces unrest. It's got to be. Hold on, that has to be.
Intended.
There's no way the air one doesn't have a scale increase or something, right?
That could be an error. You just bug report it.
Yeah, like I mean, if we compare them directly, like there's no way that it's
I mean, if
just
the
like
air one actually increases
the fire
order or
one, but
something,
minus
would
2
actually,
scales,
like,
right?
It might actually have a use because you could get extra. You can mise extra rec points, right?
Yeah, if it's
like-
like order or something.
Yeah, increase order, and then you cast it on your cap, and then you like get
More
additional
sacred.
rec.
What scale would you get from that?
Who knows?
I mean, I would say I would give it order. It's all about calming things down. Like, come on,
Yeah.
like let players have fun. But I like how like 2 of them are like powerful desertion rituals that could, in theory, grief people with remote attacking, and 2 of them are just like minor scale changes for the better, but they
Oh,
just
no.
all fucking cost 20. Just-
It's a direct counter to me massing Atavi archers. Oh,
I mean, hey, listen. Look at the mage stats on some of these fucking nerds. Like
Who?
people don't
told.
look at like what their mages are doing, and then they get griefed by like the most grief
What are you
ass spells. in
talking
existence.
about? What mages?
Like, look at some of the robe men. All right, like I don't know. Look at like Bogrus's guys, I guess. Like,
Yeah, just cast. You know how easy it is to cast Rain of Stones? Just cast it.
yeah.
Do it. Just like who cares? Like, oh, I have an Earth 1, Air 1. I spent like 3 gems to cast Rain of Stones. Like, easy.
Use
Just try it.
clap.
See what happens. You kill 2 mages, worth.
These guys have like morale 9 and shit. Like, they'll go.
Unless
down
they
to-
made it harder to cast that spell. No, they didn't.
No, it's the same spell.
Yep.
Like I said before, some of the spells that they are like problematic, I think have changed.
I think
like,
I honestly think Rain of Stones is underrated now. Like there are cases when it will do nothing, but it's so easy to cast that if you legitimately get like 3 mage kills and you don't kill any of your own mages with it, it's worthwhile to cast it. Like it's such a like some nations like all you need is Earth 1 Air 1 to cast
like
the
if
spell and
if
3
your
gems.
mages, if
Like
you have,
it's so easy.
if you have Earth 1 Air 1 and your mages wear hats and their mages don't wear hats,
Don't
just
yeah,
Rain of
just
Stone.
try it out and see what happens. Like if you kill 4 or 5 mages, that's a worthwhile trade.
It's good shit.
Oh, speaking of other changes that I think were undeserved, why was Vine Shield gutted into the dumpster?
Because it was ubiquitous and it was the only shield people made.
Yes,
Why?
we made it breakable in Dom 4 or Dom 5, and now we made it irrelevant.
It is getting late. Is it? Are we okay to hang it up pretty
So
quick?
hang it up. I think that's fine.
All
We're
right.
kind of rambling at this point anyway.
This has been.
Wait, what did they do to Frostbrand anyway? Hold on. I just realized I never checked what the
No,
actual
they-
change was.
No, holy shit, Rob.
What did they do?
They nerfed the amount of.
Oh, they
damage
reverted
it
the
does.
change. Okay, good.
It no longer sucks, but they made it so that it does less damage on the AoE,
Okay.
so that it is no longer as good at clearing
You know what?
chaff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, now it will not like clear all mites through their armor, which is fine. But yeah, so this has been your Dominion 6 Rise of the Podcaster episode, your premiere Dominion 6 Haters podcast, apparently.
Wait a
but
second.
but
I've been enjoying the game. I'm not gonna lie.
we
Been
will
enjoying
be
it.
back in an indeterminate amount of time with an indeterminate topic, because coming up with those is hard when you don't actually know the game and aren't good at it yet. So
Planning is not our strong suit.
hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.